7 rappers who are older than you thought. Rap is a somewhat new genre, with its earliest form having emerged in the late 1970s, after DJ Kool Herc began to perform simple raps over drum breaks at local block parties. However, the art form took many years to evolve and grow into what it is today. Rap produced few superstars until it entered what most music historians consider the golden age of hip-hop, in the late 80s to early 90s, where we saw artists like Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Tupac, Biggie, and many more become household names. Because of that, hip-hop is unique in the sense that while genres like rock and pop have iconic performers that are now advancing well into their 70s, most of rap's most iconic figures are still pretty young. Some of these rappers may seem older than they really are, whether that's due to starting their career absurdly young, or because they were fundamental in historic hip-hop moments. Others may seem younger than they really are due to the fact that they blew up later in life, or have a youthful energy about them. Regardless, more rappers than you think are about to hit middle age. Before we get started, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Now, here's 7 rappers who are older than you thought. Number 7, Gucci Mane. If you feel like Gucci Mane has been around forever, you wouldn't really be wrong. His career has spanned just under 2 decades, and the man is the definition of prolific, releasing projects at a breakneck pace. Over the course of the past 20 years or so, he has released 14 full-length albums and an astonishing 75 mixtapes. That's almost one project every 3 months for 20 whole years. So if you feel like Gucci has been ever present in modern rap music, it's because he has been. He's shown up on every major artist's songs as the featured guest, captivated the public with his on and off prison stints, and even provoked some conspiracy theories of being a clone when he emerged from his final prison sentence in 2016, looking fit and healthy. And Gucci still looks like he's in the prime of his life, as he turned 40 years old in February of 2020. Though the pace of his music releases has slowed down over the past few years, Gucci has made it clear that he's not going anywhere. He recently released his 14th studio album, Woptober 2, and also signed one of rap's most popular up-and-coming rappers, Pusha T. Number 6, Future. Future is an artist whose mysterious presence and influence makes him feel as if he's always been present in the rap game. However, his run as a mainstream artist has been less than 10 years. Future's music career began as a member of the Dungeon Family, a collective of Atlanta artists that has connections with Outkast and has helped birth the careers of other artists such as Killer Mike and CeeLo. Starting in 2010, Future released an array of mixtapes, including the first installment of his beloved Dirty Sprite series. While these tapes began to help him create a buzz, the album that would find success was 2011's Pluto, with tracks that we all know and love like Tony Montana. Future would capitalize on this, and his 2014 mixtape Monster would go on to be considered by many as his magnum opus, featuring the track Codeine Crazy, a track that is often the standard to which all other tracks are compared to. This tape, along with frequent collaborations with Drake, would help Future transcend from a well-respected rapper in the hip-hop community to a household name in 2015, at the age of 31, and he's still one of rap's most popular artists. Number 5, Rick Ross. Rick Ross's rap persona has always been that of the elder statesman of rap. Ross has always portrayed himself as a Don, the boss or head of the crime syndicate, calling to mind images of mafiosos like Al Capone. As a result, it shouldn't really surprise you to find out that Ross is actually 44 years old. Ross has only been in the limelight since about 2006, an entire 14 years, when he released his debut, Port of Miami. The album was a critical and commercial success, debuting at number 1. But Ross's mainstream commercial success began mostly in 2010, which included the release of Teflon Don, the album widely considered to be his best body of work to date. Throughout the years, Ross has managed to stay in the public eye by consistently putting out quality music, making strategic business decisions, and has managed to survive several controversies, including the revelation that he once worked as a prison correctional officer when he was 20-something years old. And while those controversies may have temporarily damaged his image in the public eye, Ross owns 25+ Wingstop locations, real estate, and has his own beauty products line, so he never has to worry about rap money again. I guess it goes to show you're a lot better off if you have some life experience before you actually become rich and famous. Number 4, Freddie Gibbs. Though Freddie Gibbs isn't a household name like Ross or Future, he's very well well respected within the hip-hop community for his great lyricism and undoubtedly has a big fan base. Gibbs has admitted in interviews that he did not take rap seriously at all until his mid-20s, and his first public release didn't come out until 2009, when he was 26. The tape called The Miseducation of Freddie Gibbs was a compilation album that combined mixtape tracks with unreleased studio work. Freddie released the album to the internet completely free. However, Gibbs' first bit of success came when he released the album Pinata, a collaboration album with the producer Madlib. The album received nearly universal acclaim from critics and was covered in a variety of mainstream publications, including Pitchfork and Rolling Stone. At the time of Pinata's release, Gibbs was 31. Since then, he's continued to receive critical acclaim for his work, especially his recent collaboration with The Alchemist, called Alfredo, which ended up being nominated for a Grammy. That's not to mention his 2019 project Bandana, which charted at number 13 on the US Billboard hip hop charts. Number 3, Pusha T. Before the world knew Pusha T as the guy who almost ruined Drake's career, they knew him as one half of the rap duo Clips. Formed with his brother, the group partnered with Pharrell and the Neptunes to achieve mainstream success in the early to mid-2000s. They're often credited for popularizing blatantly rapping about selling drugs, and also making the clothing brand Bape culturally relevant. But despite forming the group in 1992, Pusha didn't become so well known on his own until he began his solo career in 2010. And landed a spot on Kanye West's hit Runaway. After signing to the Good Music label in the same year, Pusha's feud with Drake started almost immediately, beginning a decade-long battle that would ultimately result in Pusha T exposing that Drake hid the fact that he had a son from the world. Despite never achieving the mainstream popularity that he had hoped for, when Clips disbanded, Pusha T is well respected within the rap industry and widely considered a highly adept lyricist. And even though he hasn't gotten a #1 record, in 2018 he released what most would consider his best album yet, which ended up being nominated for Rap Album of the Year at the Grammys. Push always said that he felt that the rappers who he looked up to failed to connect with the newer generation of rap, and that's a mistake he definitely didn't want to make. That's part of why he's been able to maintain his relevancy. Think about how many Chief Keef fans found out about Pusha when he hopped on the Don't Like remix. Number 2, Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a long list of accomplishments. He's rap's first billionaire, has 22 Grammys, sold more than 50 million albums, and is married to Beyonce. But he's also been able to do something else that many rappers on this list have not done successfully: create an album that reflects what it means to be both a rapper and a full-blown adult in their 40s. When Jay-Z released 444 in 2017, it signaled a switch for the rapper. Known for his raps about drug dealing, big spending, and luxurious habits, 444 was distinctly bare of almost all of this. Instead, the album showed a vulnerable side to Sean Carter that had rarely been seen before, detailing the aftermath of his infidelity to Beyonce. Rolling Stone praised the album as, quote, a stunning, raw, and mature apology that's as much an ode to partnership and family as it is an example of how vulnerability can make for truly excellent art. And that's not to mention the songs where he speaks about socioeconomic issues in America, but doing it in a way that made a huge impact at the time. In a lot of ways, Jay-Z created a blueprint, no pun intended, for what a rap album can look like for an older artist who has matured past their original image, without compromising their artistic integrity. Impressive. Number 1. Eminem. At 47 years old, Eminem is not the same guy as the 25-year-old who dropped the Slim Shady LP. During that time, Eminem was pretty much poor, intensely angry, and looking for an outlet. 23 years later, he is one of, if not one of the most commercially successful rappers to ever live, and widely regarded as one of the best lyricists to ever touch a mic. But the journey between these 2 points proved tough and troublesome for Eminem. Facing an overwhelming amount of fame, constant backlash over controversial lyrics, the untimely death of his best friend Proof, and battling a quickly growing pill addiction that nearly took his life, Eminem truly thought his career was over years ago. After an overdose that left him in rehab, Eminem revealed that he had to, quote, essentially relearn how to rap. Then his new material was plagued by severe criticism from fans that felt he could never fully satisfy. This led to a period of intense self-doubt, which he reflected upon in his album Revival. Despite this, Eminem has continued to produce new music and work to change his subject matter, his flows, and also dabble into trap-style beats. In 2020, Eminem surprise released the album Music to Be Murdered By, which was hailed by many as a return to form for the rapper and a step in the right direction, unlike Revival. So did any of the rappers on this list surprise you at all? Let me know in the comments. And before you leave, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to our channel.